Hey kids, how's it going? I am going to cook a chicken on the barbecue. I've got a roasting pan all ready to go with some mirepoix. As you can see, I've got a whole chicken, Le Grand Poulet. So what I've done, got a little rack and pan. Got the mirepoix, the usual suspects: celery, thyme, carrot, onions, peppercorns, bay leaf, garlic. So what I'm going to do with my chicken is I'm actually going to stuff the breast with some butter and stuff like that. I actually had a smaller chicken, but when I got it out of the package, it was sour, so I had to run to the store and get myself another one. So you make little pockets in the skin here, and I'm also going to go down the drumstick here a little bit, get some down on the thigh. And what this is going to do is, I've got some butter. I took some butter and I put some thyme, some garlic, some pepper, and some minced shallots, and I put it in there, and it's going to go into the skin. And what it's going to do is it's going to baste the chicken. It's going to baste the chicken as it cooks, and it's just going to impart a whole bunch of flavor. And you can put any kind of herbs you want in your butter. You can put rosemary, marjoram, oregano, basil, preferably fresh. So here we go. That's what my butter looks like. It's just mixed butter with herbs, spices. So I get a knob underneath the skin and I push it down. And what I'll do is I'll push on it and I'll flatten it out and I'll spread it around. And it's okay if it's in one lump right here, because the butter's going to melt and then it's just going to travel. It's just going to travel down the breast. And it's going to baste it, and it's just going to give it so much flavor. And I think I'm still going to make a gravy out of it. That's why I'm cooking it on the barbecue. I'm going to put some boiling water in the pan here. You can put hot chicken stock, but with the chicken drippings and for the juice from the vegetables and stuff, it's going to be really It's going to be a really flavorful gravy, or a jus if you want to call it such. So it's not rocket science. I like my gloves, using my gloves for this. That way I don't get any chicken on me. Chicken on my hands, less chance of cross-contaminating if you're touching other stuff after you've done this. You could even put alcohol in your butter if you wanted. You could put some brandy, you could put some wine. You could put white wine, you could put red wine. It's your chicken, you can put whatever you want in it. So just gather up the last of my butter here. Oh, drop some on the floor for the cats, look at that. Find out if they like garlic or not. I do. I put in about a tablespoon of minced thyme in the butter, and I put one small shallot and probably about 2 minced garlic cloves and a little grind of pepper. I use salted butter, so you don't have to add any salt to it, otherwise it will become too salty. So there, we got the butter in there. Spread it all around. You could put the butter on the outside, but all that would do is it would just drip off and drip into the pan, and you would just have a really buttery gravy. So there we got this. I'm going to grab my boiling water, pour it into the pan here, get some tin foil on it. I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on it. Maybe I'll do that now. And that's the other reason for wearing the gloves, just cleaner. Now I can go touch stuff and I don't have to wash my hands. Here we go, boiling water. And the thing about this is that it's hot, so once it hits the heat of the barbecue, it's going to steam this chicken, and it's going to steam it nice. There we go, a little bit of pepper. Get some sea salt. I'm also going to be doing up some Swiss chard, some broccoli. And I'm going to fry some celeriac. I'm actually going to fry it. Some butter. Get it all, kind of like chips, I guess. Get it all nice and crispy. You could stuff something in the cavity if you wanted. I don't. I find if you stuff stuff in there, it just takes it longer for it to come to temperature. I also don't bind the legs. Some of these chickens come with twine wrapped up. Mine had a little plastic piece holding the feet together. I take that off because you don't want, when you press these thighs into the breast, it takes it longer to get to temperature and cook all the way through. And I mean, really, if you're taking a picture, tie it up, cook it. And when it takes that long to cook, you also dry out. What's going to dry out first is going to be the wings and this part of the breast here, and the part of the legs here are going to dry out if you truss it up too much and you stuff it full of stuff. So same thing goes for turkey. I mean, it's your chicken. If you want to tie it up, you knock yourself out. But for me, I want this puppy to cook fast. I just heard some thunder going off here. I'll put a little more salt on there just because a lot of it's going to fall off anyway. So yeah, I'll get some tin foil, wrap this puppy up, and get her on the barbecue, and then we'll come back when she's done. All right, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to fry some celery root. I don't know if I'm going to make chips out of it, but I'm going to fry it. So basically, it's a root vegetable, like a turnip, but it's got a celery flavor to it, celeriac. It's really tasty. It's really good in soups and stews and stuff. In the fall time, when they're abundant, when they're plenty, you can take some celery roots, potatoes, some onions, some carrots, and turnips, put them all in a pot, half a cup of butter, quarter cup of maple syrup, and half a cup of chicken stock, and you steam those vegetables, and all that liquid reduces down into a syrup, and it coats everything, and it's just all flavorful. Anyway, it looks like the alien. He's got these little brain thingies on it. You want to cut those off basically, so they're smooth. Helps if you've got a good sharp knife. I don't know if you can hear the neighbor's dog next door, Jazz, barking away. Like I said, I could have put some of this in with the chicken instead of celery for the gravy and stuff. But you know, it's whatever you want to do, right? You can puree it, add some cream, add some salt and pepper to it, some herbs and spices and such. Here, let's get rid of this stuff here because I have the tiniest cutting board ever. And we're back. Just a note when cutting stuff, cut on a flat surface if you can. Make sure the object you're cutting is on has a flat surface on it, so you can lay it flat. That way there's less chance of stuff rolling around and taking a finger off. A little more on this side. A little more on this side. This side. Like I said, you can, I don't know if I'm going to cut these into coins or if I'm going to just cut these into batonets, which is just basically a long stick. Maybe one of these days I'll do a lesson on the different kind of cuts that you can do for vegetables. Batonet, paysanne, julienne. I'm pretty sure there's a few others, but I'll have to go back to my textbook from cooking school. Or initiate a GTS protocol, which stands for Google that stuff. So yeah, so let's do the batonets. Nice big sharp knife. And really all we're doing is just cutting them. Try to get them all the same size. Length doesn't matter, it's the thickness, right? If you were cooking fancy schmancy, you could make everything the same length, have them all the same size, all that kind of good stuff. It's just me and Therese. I mean, you know, better make it to taste good than to try and cook it fancy, you know what I mean? Worry about making it taste good before you decide to make it look good. I've had some pretty good looking food that's kind of tasted bad, and I've had some not so good looking food that tasted really good. So you get the best of both worlds. So what I'll do is I'll get a bowl of water and I'll soak this stuff, keep it moist. When it comes time, I'm going to fry it up. I've also got some Swiss chard. All I do with that, is I get a pot full, a little bit, about a half an inch of water in it, chop up the chard, and I put it in the pot and I steam it. A little bit of salt and pepper and some butter. Bob's your uncle. You don't have to mess with stuff. Swiss chard has a lot of great flavor to it. And the broccoli, I'm just going to steam in the microwave in a bowl. Oh, excuse me, in a bowl. Just to keep it simple. Anyway, when the chicken's done, we'll come back. Here's me BBQed. So she's been cooking for about an hour. She's looking pretty good. Took the tin foil off it. I'm going to brown it up. I'm going to start cooking those vegetables. Probably about a half an hour or so. Should be ready in about 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. All right, chicken's browning on the barbecue. Pan is hot here for the celeriac, so I'm going to put that in there. And we're just going to fry them like French fries, I guess, and we'll see how it goes. I got my pot going. The water's almost ready for the Swiss chard, but I'll let these cook for a little while because they are bigger. I don't know if you can hear the sizzle or not. Don't know if the microphone's that good. Yeah, we'll get these in. We'll check on the chicken, see how it's doing, and we'll come back and we'll do the Swiss chard after. Yeah. Okay, celery root's looking okay. Gonna crank up the heat for the Swiss chard. Got it all cut up into little chunks. It'll shrink down nicely when it cooks. Oops. I'll slap a lid on that, and yeah, I'll come back with the chicken and carb. One chicken cooked on the barbecue, using it like an oven. Maybe next time I'll skip the butter and I'll just stick it on the rotisserie and let her go. Anyway, I'll take a picture when it's served. We'll cook chicken on the barbecue. The celery root looks like French fries, so the Swiss chard smells good. Bon appetit.